when I start thinking of what I'm going to record, I think it's funny. I don't know why. I just got out of a meeting with the junior high principal and principal and principal. When I go over there, they never see me alone. They always bring witnesses. Because I stand up for myself. I'm not a Mormon anymore. I'm not scared of them. They don't intimidate me. And so this one guy that I've worked with over there 2 or 3 times, he and I have gotten along pretty well. He's a Palestinian. No bomb. He doesn't wear a bomb to school. And he's the vice principal. Well, he and I have a little bit of a dialogue. And he brought in the new vice principal who, God, he just got off his mission and looks like a gay person. So anyway, I took my wife and my baby. The baby wanted to go. My 14-year-old is too embarrassed. She doesn't want to be involved in any of Dad's shit. Well, I went over. He says, "What can I do for you today?" And I said, "Probably not much." You never do. But at least he listens. And so we had a discussion. And I brought out their rules for dress code. Okay? And I read down through them, and I said, "Now, let me tell you, these match the pamphlet of the for the strength of the youth of the Mormon Church. They're almost identical." And he says, "Well, how do you know that they didn't copy us?" And he says, "Because you weren't around in 1965 when the damn pamphlet came out." He goes, "Well, you got a point there." So they're not used to somebody who is fairly knowledgeable on the Mormon Church. So anyway, I said they're identical, and basically not identical. They're so close. It's like the Masonic ritual and the Mormon temple ceremony. They're so close that a common person would go, "Meow," that one of them copied each other. Well, anyway, I read it, and he said, "What's the problem?" In my mind, I thought, do you have shit for brains? The problem is, my mouth started to say, you are enforcing the dress standards of the Mormon Church upon my family who are not Mormons. Oh, well, I've been here 9,000 years and we've always done it this way. I said, "Listen, longevity doesn't make truth." "You got a point." I said the Mormons wouldn't let the blacks hold the priesthood for 150 years. Did that make it right? Of course, the missionary guy over there, he just can't wait to talk. So I know what he's going to say because I've been around the robots my whole life. So I said, "Let me read you what the Supreme Court of the United States of America has said." "Oh, I would be interested." Sure he would. Sure he would. Every Mormon wants to know what big government says, that they're being offensive, they're being illegal, they're discriminating. Anyway, I told him, I said, the Supreme Court of the United States says, if it's not offensive, it's not vulgar, and it's not threatening, and if it's not vulgar, threatening, there was one more. In my mind, Why do you watch me? I can hardly watch myself. I go, is this a dementia ward? This guy's broadcasting. He's hidden in a closet in a mental institution. Dementia ward. Well, anyway, I gave him the scrutiny that the courts look at. The Supreme Court. This isn't the 9th District. It's not the Utah. It is the Supreme Court of the United States. And so I read that to him, and he says, "Well, that's interesting." No, it's not to him, because he doesn't have any weight or measurement to what the Supreme Court says. He says, "Well, I'm not a Mormon." You should be. You think just like him. So anyway, the young guy sitting over there, I said to him, I said, "Well, are you a Mormon?" Well, the Palestinian stood up. "I'm offended. You don't have any right." And I said, well, he didn't answer, so I know he's a Mormon. Well, you can't assume it. So the guy goes bullshit on me. I just sit there quiet. He says, "If this conversation keeps going like this," in other words, me disagreeing with him, "it's over." I know Mormons. So I sit there and I just bow my head like I have been corrected. And it baits the Mormons in more because I can say more. So he calms down. I told him to take a couple of my Valium if he wants. Here, out of my pocket, take 2 of these. So finally the conversation deteriorated to exactly what I knew it would. And he said, I don't care what the Supreme Court says. I know that this is right. See? Emotion. Mormon emotion. That the prophet of the Mormon Church has said this, and if it's good enough for the Mormons, everybody should do it. And I said, well, a few things, and the Mormon guy interrupted me. And I said, hey, I said, you got to be a Mormon because you talk over me and you interrupt me. And I looked at the other guy. I said, did I interrupt you at all? Well, no. I said, well, come on, a little bit of same respect from this guy. Oh, now, he gets pissed again. I go, God, the rules are the rules. In our society, you let somebody speak and you politely fold your arms. And you don't say anything. You just give them the non-verbal, rolling your eyes and your head. Well, anyway, you know, he was mad because I told the Mormon to shut up, I'll be quiet, and let him speak. Well, he went into, you know, the Mormon chant, Pele Ale, oh God, hear the words of our school. And so anyway, it rattled down to that he said, well, and I let him go into a long speech. Oh my God, he could have got up and run for president. He might have beat Mitt Romney, I don't know. And I listened, and then he said to me, do you understand what I'm saying? Now that's a tricky question with Mormons, because if you say yes, Mormons think you have agreed with them and you're in full fellowship. I said, no, I don't understand what you're saying, and from what I'm understanding that you're saying, I disagree with. Well, see, when you disagree with Mormons, they don't know what to say. Well, in all due respect, excuse me. Someone just said on one of my comments, he shouldn't swear. I told you I was in construction a lot of part of my life and trying to get my education. So anyway, he said, screw you. I said, okay. And he said, well, I'm not going to change this at all. I said, I'm not surprised. Do I look surprised to you? I said, somebody has got to come over here and tell you people when you're breaking the law. I said, I don't think you mean to break the law. I just think there's a divine stupidity over you. He said, well, I'm not going to read the Supreme Court. I go, I know. You didn't read it before you made the rules up. Now that you've made the rules up, you don't want to hear what the Supreme Court of the United States says. See? Mormons and big government. If it's their government, it can be as big as Kolob. But if it tells the Mormons, oh, you're doing that because you want the girls to wear garments on your dress code, so when they grow up, oh my God, the federal government comes in and goes, oh, no, no. And the Mormons go, see, big government, big, we want state rights. They don't want state rights, they want a theocracy. So, anyway, we discussed each one of the areas that they said was not able to go to school. And my little 9-year-old, almost 10, she was sitting there, and she was dressed in a beautiful little kind of a halter top skirt and shorts. And I said, then that kid right there couldn't even go to school. No, she couldn't even step a foot into school. I said, well, she's in here right now. You gotta laugh at the Mormons. They're so stupid. It's like talking and barking to a dog. They don't care what the... And I quoted him, the 13th Article of Faith. We believe in being subject to the laws of the land, kings, presidents, and being good people. They don't. Don't believe what they say or what they write. Look at what they do. Look at their history. Well, I didn't want to go in. I think this conversation was hanging by a thread. Maybe the White Horse Prophecy. And I was about to be ejected. I know that. I've been ejected so many times from the public schools in Utah. I told you this once, they had a no trespass order against me. I wasn't allowed to go on any property that was owned by the school. Well, anyway, I got that dropped. Luckily. So I knew he was going to call the police. I knew they were going to come in with the pink paper that says, your ass is out of here, don't come back. And he said to me, now here's what's interesting, and I've told you this on 4 or 5 shows. He said, well, you can take this to a higher cause. You can see, you know, what people will say. And I said to him, well, you know, it's interesting. I'm recording and you're on the TV. People. So he said, well, you can do what you want. And I said, well, you know what? I don't need your permission for that. I've always had that authority and that right. I can always take it to a court. Just, you can do that, but you'll lose. I said, you're right. In a Utah court, there's no reason to even go in. I said, you are only subject to the 9th District, which there's a Mormon on, and he'll probably say it's okay, the dress code for Mormons is good enough for everybody else. And once you get it up to Utah Supreme Court, you might have a little bit of a chance. But once you get it to the Supreme Court of the United States, they'll say, hey, we've already spoken on this. Don't do that shit. And Utah, wow, big government, see, we're persecuted. They hate us, they hate us. No, we don't hate you people. We just want you to leave us alone. Don't enforce your smoking and your drinking and your dress code and your moral code and closing stores on Sundays so we can't shop. Leave us the hell alone. People say, well, David, you can leave the church, but you can never leave the church alone. Mormons, that's one of their key phrases that the cult teaches them to say when people speak the truth about their experience. Okay? I can't leave the Mormon church alone because, number one, it was 50 years of my life. It developed my morality, it developed my self-esteem, my ego, it developed my value system. How can I throw all that away as a human being? I'd just be another Mormon robot. I can't leave it alone. And you know what? When they keep hanging crap on my door, when they keep coming on TV, I can say these words because truth is a defense for libel. The Mr. Mac store here in Utah has a commercial that says, missionaries, we have a special, 2 suits and 3 coats and a jacket. They have a missionary package on TV. Now, do they have a right to that? There's no law against that. But you know, that's like the Catholics coming on your TV and going, well, we don't believe in birth control. Here's the birth control pills that we don't advise. Who puts their damn religion on the TV constantly? So the Mormons won't leave me alone. I had to go over to a meeting today, and the little Mormon clown that came out of a mission, he didn't even understand. He knew, when I said that the sleeve is to cover garments and the 3 inches on the length of shorts is to cover garments. And I said, you know it, and I know it. He just sat there, quiet. He says, I'm not going to tell you my religion. I looked at his face. You don't have to tell me your religion. Telepathy has told. Then the old guy gets up and he jumps again. So it went comical. It ended nice. It ended nice because I slapped the shit out of the young principal. And the old guy just threw out the damn window. And I said, I'm going to agree to disagree. I think your policy does not fall in line with the Supreme Court. He said, well, our attorneys have read it, and we wouldn't have it if our attorney did not approve it. How many times did Joseph Smith's attorney and Brigham Young's attorney tell him to do crap that historically we know was illegal? You can't have a top hat and a seer stone in it and look for treasures and charge people. That's called fraud. But his attorney said it was okay. It was freedom. It wasn't freedom of speech. I guess it was freedom of looking. I think voyeurs claim that particular freedom. So anyway, I wanted to get back to you. I knew they weren't going to do shit. You knew they weren't going to do shit. Now, I have a choice. Okay, and this is the choice you get in Utah. I could certainly sue those people, and they would have to make an appearance, and we'd have to have discovery, and then we'd have to have a court date. And in Utah, you have to have the depositions and all the discovery, and then you go to court, and the Mormon judge goes, to me. Here's a sign of the times to you, David. No, okay. So then I have to appeal it. Well, it appeals over to the, civil rights. Civil rights doesn't have to go through the entire court process. If you're in pro per, civil rights can go right into a federal court. But anyway, now it goes over to the Ninth Circuit. I think they're in Colorado, and that Mormon goes. And it costs thousands and thousands of dollars to fix these people and the evil things that they do. So then it goes to the Supreme Court, like the gay people now are before the Supreme Court. And I'm sure the Supreme Court, I'm going to give you my prophecy, you can marry whoever the hell you want. Civil rights. So anyway, I just wanted to report to you a meeting that went nowhere, a meeting didn't change anything, and they didn't convert me, and I didn't convert them, but I did let them know that the non-members are getting more and more in this state, and eventually some of this shit's going to get cleaned up. We're not moving out of the state. We're going to vote their ass out of here.